This is the Spurs Postcast, your instant game reaction for the San Antonio Spurs. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Oh, that one hurt. That one stung. One of those losses where you just kind of sit there and you let it marinate, and the only thing you can do is accept that it happened. And that's what we're going to do tonight here on the Spurs Postcast, right here on Locked On Spurs. Welcome in again to another edition, as we know, part of the Locked On family, Locked On Podcast Network, now the number one sports podcast network in all the land. And it's because of the everydayers like yourself who are here to engage, feel good, feel bad. If you're anything like us right now, feeling a little deflated because it was a tough one tonight for San Antonio's silver and black. Man aside from me, NBA champion Devin Brown, who was right there along with it. And I think the only thing we can kind of do is everything like I just said. Sit there, and the game's been over for about 15 minutes now, and just breathe a little bit, I guess. That was tough. That was tough tonight.
Yeah, I'm just, sitting here wondering, what it was that I was witnessing, right? And trying to come up with some things in my head. But let me tell you something. I'm pretty good at what I do. So I'm going to come up with something here in a second, Casey.
All right. Warriors, a 109-108 win tonight over the Spurs in an Emirates Cup thriller. We'll talk about how we got there.
This is what you'll be talking about.
I'll preface this by saying we get 7 of these in the back end of April, you turn on the NBA on NBC theme. I mean, inject that into my veins, man, because this is going to be fun, because this was playoff basketball tonight at the Frostbank Center, a game in which the Spurs and the Warriors went punch for punch, saw Wemby and Draymond Green get physical, super physical, a game that saw De'Aaron Fox play pretty well, and a game that saw Stephen Curry drop his second consecutive 40-point game. He goes for 49, and what ultimately adds up to a 109-108 victory for the Warriors. Curry's 2 free throws with 6 seconds to go, ultimately proving to be the difference. The segment is what we're going to be talking about tomorrow. And what we're going to be talking about tomorrow, Devin, is the fact that De'Aaron Fox struggled big time down the stretch. Spurs had the lead inside 2 minutes to go. And inside the final 2 minutes, Fox going 0 of 4 from the field on his crunch time attempts, including the potential game winner, a turnover that led to points, and the decisive foul that led to the Curry free throws. It's easy to point blame at one guy because it went beyond that. But the immediate impulse thing that we're going to see is that the fingers tomorrow are going to be pointed at De'Aaron Fox, fair or not. Just a brutal close on a night that he did play well. He had 24 points, 10 assists, 10 of 22 from the field. He played well, but unfortunately, that's what the headline's going to read tomorrow.
All right, just, real quick, I don't know what the expectations were in Sacramento as far as, everybody comes out in the beginning of the year, right, where you want to win and all this kind of stuff that they, blast all across out there. But, here in San Antonio, it's a different standard. De'Aaron Fox is going to realize that quick. He probably won't be anywhere near, the marketplace, the next couple of days. But that's all right. That's a young man that's faced, tougher challenges. He'll bounce back. The last minute, 0 for 4, and the turnover and the foul that you talked about are things that in the past he's had a lot of success, Mr. Fourth Quarter, things like that. So, but the next couple of days, yes, everybody's going to beat him up about that performance. And, as a player, that's just something that you're going to go through, right? So, it's tough. Coach Mitch is going to go through some things. Wemby not touching the ball. At all that last possession, that's going to be out there too. But Casey, what are we truly expecting from this San Antonio Spurs team right now? Because they're still 8-4.
Yeah.
So help me out here. What are we expecting? I'm asking you.
Well, I think this little baseball / playoff series was going to give us a lot of answers as to what we were expecting.
Okay, so
yeah,
I love that you said that, because before the 2 games, they were 8-2, correct?
Right.
So the locker room on the other side, Golden State, what they're saying is this is one of the top teams in the West right now, standing-wise. We have one regular season game, and we have a playoff atmosphere type game. They came in ready to go, ready to play, finish the job going 2-0. Well, the Spurs, remember now, if you look at playoff pedigree as far as the Warriors roster compared to the San Antonio roster, and I thought about this during the basketball game, Wemby plays for Team France, which means he plays a lot of meaningful games, correct? Who else on the Spurs roster is doing anything of that nature during the summer? None of them.
None of them.
So the Warriors, being that they have a lot of NBA playoff experience, that showed in these 2 basketball games.
Mm-hmm. No, for sure. And I think that's what we were going to learn. We wanted to learn how legitimate was this 8-2 start. And there's no better way to find out how legitimate then you are than to have the Golden State Warriors walk into your building for 2 consecutive games. One of them, they're on a back-to-back. The second, national TV. What better way to figure out what you are from a personnel standpoint, from a coaching standpoint, than match up with one of the best, maybe not, particularly this season, maybe not the best in the West, but the gold standard, no pun intended, the gold standard of basketball, what it is. And we got it. And the Spurs just aren't there yet.
So let me say this. Let me say this, because I hadn't kind of losing my voice because I hadn't screamed and yelled at the TV like that in a while. Not since, I believe they were playing Game 5 of the 2005, us versus Detroit, when the stuff happened with one of the Detroit players. They started playing the games on NBA TV, and it was 2005, my championship team. This is the last time I was yelling and screaming at the TV like I was tonight. Let me tell you something, Casey.
Tell me.
When Draymond got in Vic's face, I'm like, get him, Vic. After he had the left-hand dunk, I guess they called that off?
They said the foul. What happened was they were jockeying the play before, getting post positioning. They get
so they called the hold before the ball went up.
And then they called the hold before the ball went up.
When Vic dunked that ball with his left hand, I screamed. I'm like, get him.
I wish we were rolling live on that because I just sat there. I was like,
yeah, no, because
and it didn't count. Honestly, I don't know if that building has been as loud as it was since like 2014, man, because that place went nuclear for a bucket that didn't count.
It was a few possessions before that when Draymond blocked Vic.
Yeah.
From there on, Draymond started getting out of pocket. Like he started talking, and I'm going, hey Victor, hey, let's go, man, turn it on. Like, come on, this guy really thinks that he can guard you. So when he got that dunk, it exploded on this side. But oh man, just tough game, man, tough game.
Yeah, and I think it's important because we mentioned one play that didn't count that kind of ignited the building. Our turning point tonight was not one play that didn't count. It was one player coming in midway through the fourth quarter that ultimately proved to be the difference.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
My friend, tell them how we got there.
All right, so our turning point is 7:12 to go in the fourth quarter. Mr. Coach Steve Kerr pulled one of his moves that he's so great at doing. Gary Payton II checked in, and the whole universe changed after that for the Warriors. He had a big assist, great defense at the top of their 1-2-2 zone, Casey, and big three to put them up one that the Warriors kind of really didn't look back afterwards. Another great substitution, and we talked about this in the past episodes about Coach Steve Kerr versus Coach Mitch. And you have to give the advantage to Coach Steve Kerr for the weekend.
Tonight he got the best of them. I guess 2 days in a row he got the best of them, and ultimately a 109-108 Warriors victory tonight in the Frost Bank Center as the Spurs drop to 1-1 in that group of death in the Emirates Cup. Coming up on the other side of the break, let's continue the conversation about the De'Aaron Fox thing, where the Spurs go from here, what we liked out of the performance, and whether or not something like this is what they can build off of going forward. That got that coming up for you in a little bit more right here on the Spurs Postcast on Locked On Spurs. But before we do that, let's talk about a few of our friends that drive this program. All right, we're gonna introduce you to Drip Drop. What is Drip Drop, you might ask? Well, I will tell you. Drip Drop is something that is going to keep you hydrated. It's going to help your focus, your energy, your mood, your skin, all that good stuff. That's why I've been using it. It's doctor-developed hydration that keeps me running at full power no matter what my day looks like. It's not your average sports drink. It delivers 3 times the electrolytes, half the sugar of leading brands, science backing it up. That's what you want. Trusted by medical pros. It's what you want to keep you going. I never tried it until before this program, and I knew we had a late game going on, and I feel good. I was worried about how I'd be looking at 11:45 Central Time, and I feel pretty good. So right now, Drip Drop is offering podcast listeners 20% off your first order. So go to dripdrop.com, use the promo code LOCKEDONNBA. Stock up now before the heat hits hard, and keep your body and your mind performing at their best with Drip Drop. Also going to have a conversation with you tonight about Wayfair. The holiday season right around the corner, so that means it's time to get your home ready. Whether you need more seating for guests, cozy new linens, or fun-serving holiday wear that you're hosting with, Wayfair's Black Friday sale is here to help you make your space shine. And the best part about it, no wait, Black Friday deals are happening all month long. Don't have to wait till the end of the month. Up to 70% off everything from sofas to spatulas. That's big if you're hosting for the holidays this year. They're going to make it easy, Wayfair is. So don't miss out on early Black Friday deals. Head on over to wayfair.com to shop the Black Friday sale. WAYFAIR.com. Sale ends December 7th. And finally, I think we could all probably use something good to eat tonight, because it's one of those days where you might want to eat away your feelings. And DoorDash has found the perfect way to keep their fans in the bag all year long. They're making every game night even better, even ones when you're coming off heartbreaking losses like we saw tonight. It's the official on-demand delivery platform of the NBA, and they're celebrating something called the bag drop. Every time an NBA player scores 50, they're going to drop 50% off your order with Dash Pass the next day, and you're automatically entered for a chance to win the ultimate fan bag. So next time someone goes off for 50, use that code NBA50 the next day, 50% off DoorDash on with Dash Pass, plus your shot at the bag drop. Terms apply, no purchase necessary. It ends April 13th. Open to U.S. residents 21 or older. Visit DoorDashInYourBag.com for full details. And as we know, DoorDash in your bag all season long. All right, welcome back into the Spurs Postcast right here on Locked On Spurs. San Antonio tonight going down to the Warriors 109-108 in their second NBA Emirates Cup game of the season so far. A 109-108 defeat that saw Victor Wembanyama go for 26, 12 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 blocks. Stephon Castle's double-double streak comes to an end tonight, Devin. 13 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists. As we know, Fox, 24, 10 assists, 10 of 22 from the field, and 3 steals on top of that. All right. Like we said, De'Aaron Fox is going to get clobbered tomorrow. He's getting clobbered already. Deserve it or not, whatever. That's what happens. You don't show up in prime time. People are going to say less than ideal things. They'll be the first to probably tell you that too. He did a lot of good things tonight. And with the exception of maybe the final, I guess 152 to 3 minutes or so at the end, he looked the most comfortable that we've seen probably so far since he's come back in these handful of games.
Let's go back to the first quarter.
Yeah.
First of all, he took the assignment tonight. I guess, in shoot around or yesterday he said, you know what, Mitch, I got Steph. Let me start out on him. Let me, I don't know. Is the strategy, maybe it kept Stephon out of foul trouble. I don't know. But anyway, he took the assignment. And right away, Casey, now correct me if I'm wrong, he had 14 points in that first quarter, correct?
First half. First half. He was the high man at half. So either way, I mean, he was coming off a couple games where he had 13 and 14, if I'm not mistaken. So, but he looked fluid for sure.
He looked good. Looked fluent. There was scoring early. Now, I'm not going to worry about right here in my notes the first 10 possessions. How many times did Wemby touch the ball in a scoring position? 0. But that's okay. That's okay because we had De'Aaron Fox getting himself back on track tonight, and everything was going good. Casey, hey, the script that Mitch was putting out there was going great, right? Champagne hits a couple of threes, and then I believe he said we're going to get to the 152 mark
of the fourth. Yes.
No bueno.
That's all you could do is shake your head. And what was you want to show them what my reaction was when I read back the final 2 minutes there of that fourth quarter? Yeah, it was one of those just kind of cringe where you're like, it's getting worse. It's getting worse. It was rough. It was rough. Not particularly ideal, but I'm sorry. Continuing the
listen,
sorry to interrupt. Go ahead. Yeah.
That's what I don't want to do here. I just want to say, Casey, I just want to say this.
Say it.
I'm pretty sure Sacramento's played Golden State before, right? When he was over there.
Plentiful. Yes.
Yeah, like they're in the same division where they play like 8 times, They'll play a couple times home and away, and then they'll go to like a neutral site.
They had the playoff. They had that great playoff series a couple of years ago.
Oh, absolutely. Everybody knows you got to stay down on Steph, right?
Yeah.
It's easier said than done. No. Done it. Got to stay down on him. Okay. Other than that, and you know what? And a lot of people aren't going to do this, but I'm going to do this right now. I'm going to give kudos to Mitch for giving Fox that last shot. You want to know why? Because if he hits that, San Antonio gets off that young man's back.
Yeah.
But now it's going to be the opposite for 2 days. But Casey, tomorrow's the 15th. He'll be fine. So we just need De'Aaron Fox just to play better. Just play. And he showed signs of that. It's just the last 152. Scrap it up, take it like a man, and get ready for the next one.
That's what's kind of unfortunate about it, was because I thought that, like you said, all those things that you said, it was probably the most fluid, the most organic he has looked in the 5 games that he's been back. Handful of years back, without a doubt. And again, he makes that shot. This is a completely different narrative. We're starting this show. We're talking about all those people who thought he was the odd man out.
Yes.
Now, this is why they brought in the clutch player of the year last year.
Yes.
So we're completely changing those things. It's just, given how well Steph Castle had played, Fox has been at such an uphill climb that you hate to say it, but from the optic standpoint, what we're saying and what the Spurs see, obviously completely different things. Completely different things.
Mm-hmm.
But what we're seeing and what they see, referring to the things that we are saying, the people on the outside, is that he's gonna get clobbered. He's gonna get completely. He's in a no-win situation right now. He's in a no-win situation because obviously Victor can't do anything wrong in the grand scheme of things. Stephon Castle's been fantastic. So when losses happen, inevitably there needs to be someone that people will point a finger at. And that's the
easy target because he's the highest paid player.
And he's the highest,
right? We talk about it. We talk about it like certain people talk about LeBron James all the time. We talk about it all the time. He got that extension. And so the fans, San Antonio fans, are expecting, him to be this guy that he was in Sacramento. But, we got to remember, and you and I talked about this, and you had to help me with the numbers before the broadcast. This was game what for him again? 10, 12?
This was game now, I guess, 10 with Victor. If I'm doing the math, because he's been back 4 games now. So he played 5 with Victor.
5 last year.
Yeah.
It's still a long way to go. And, I feel like the trade deadline's coming or something. And we gotta see what it is that he's going to do. That's why I don't want to beat him up too bad after that, because it was a tough fourth quarter. Yes. But, yeah. And what was the other thing he said? Victor didn't touch the ball in the last possession. Yeah, we know all that. But that's not what Coach Mitch wanted. So, okay, it didn't work. We got to move on to the next game.
Yeah, it's true. And I think they will. But, they're going to have to. They have no choice. And maybe it's a good get-right game because it is Sacramento coming in this weekend. So if there's ever a time for him to get it right, it would be this weekend. But this just kind of goes back to, sadly, like we said, that this is what it's going to be every single loss that they do have. That someone, because they matter, we say it all the time, because they matter, because they're relevant, because there is a pressure on them to go out there and win and compete and hold themselves accountable, that means there is somebody that's going to be accountable. And like you said, more often than not, it's going to be him. Fair or not, more often than not, it's going to be De'Aaron Fox.
Right. And to your point, listen, the Spurs, let's go through the timeline, right? 5-0, 8-2 with the 5-game homestand.
Right.
Okay. Oh man, you're in a perfect situation. All you gotta do is go out there and play some basketball. Well, right now they haven't done it. Right now they're 0-2 with 3 tough games coming. And I said this the other day on the broadcast. Sacramento's coming in here after getting embarrassed and their head coach calling all of them out. So now here they come, right? And this is De'Aaron Fox's old team. Why not have a get-back game against your former team, right? It looks like it would be perfect for him. Mm-hmm. Okay? So the Spurs have got to bounce back, and they've got to bounce back quickly.
Mm-hmm. And it does go beyond him. It does go beyond him because De'Aaron Fox alone did not have 21 turnovers tonight.
Right.
De'Aaron Fox was not alone in trying to check Stephen Curry. In many respects, Steph just had one of those nights, really 2 consecutive of those nights. He was not alone in that. There are other routes where this thing went wrong. It did.
Hey, Casey, real quick before you continue.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something from the player's standpoint. I'm on the Warriors bench, right? Because you got a guy out there cooking. Now, I'll give this example later on when we have one of the Spurs cooking. But right now, if you're one of the Warriors over there, you're like, man, Vassal, Champagny, and the couple of minutes that Sohan was on Curry, I think they had a little gasoline on the back of their jersey because Steph was cooking and on fire when those 3 were guarding him. Coach Mitch has got to look at that, and he's got to pick some different players to guard Steph when they play him again. That's all.
Sohan, for those curious tonight, did not. He played more than 6 minutes. He had 13. Still not an inordinate amount. In many respects, yeah, it's like you said. What are you supposed to do when Steph is on one of those nights? It happens.
Admire it.
That's it. Admire it. That's all you do. You just tip your hat and you say, this is why he's one of the greatest of all time. But again, it doesn't make it particularly fair because someone is going to get the blame. And I think tonight that's where it is. It is on De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah,
fair or not.
Yeah, fair enough. Yes.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen. But there's more to the story beyond this.
Yes, as a whole, the team, San Antonio's team, is putting themselves in a difficult situation the rest of this homestand because you just dropped two to all people, them. Yeah. All right. If you go back to when Kawhi Leonard was here, we don't like them. You know what I mean? Like, it's a weird situation.
Yeah. No, it's true. Mitch could have done a better job as well, because this series between the two, we learned that you said a couple days prior to it, you said this is going to be just as much on Mitch as it is everybody else. And 100%. We learned that Mitch isn't there yet. Again, in fairness, there was like the coaching equivalent to what the players had to deal with Steve Kerr being one of the greatest of all time. So in fairness to him, it's not like it's an indictment that he went out there and he got out coached by some bum, you know?
No.
But we learned a lot about these Spurs these past couple nights, for sure.
Casey, did you see any panic in Golden State when they were down 3? They were down 3 like 2 or 3 possessions in a row. Did you see any panic? No, you didn't. And you saw them get 2 or 3 layups. They keep cutting that lead to 1.
Yeah. Well, and how about the final possession that Curry got fouled? Steve Kerr didn't take a timeout.
He did not.
And he said, go do your thing.
Been there, done that is what they were thinking on that sideline, right?
Mm-hmm. And they did. Championship medal. I mean, we've done 3 shows in a row between this squad show and the previous postcast, and the end conversation we keep having is championship medal, and it's what it's all about. And our player of the game tonight, I'm going to operate under the assumption, is the guy who exhibits exactly that.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
46 points, 49 points. A trip to San Antonio.
Yeah, 46 points, 49 points. I think they were here 3 days, and I think he might have played 5 rounds of golf.
Went over to the rim. Was selling his tequila over there, whatever he was selling. I don't know, whiskey, whatever it was.
Saw that, saw that too. Yeah.
The man came into town.
He just came to town. Own that side of town. What is going on?
The man came into town, puts up 46, sat back the next day, sipped on his whiskey at the rim.
Right.
Went to TPC, played golf all day, came back the next day at work, dropped 49, gets on a plane and goes home.
Wow.
Stephen Curry, man.
What a wild couple of days, right?
Poor Vita. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah. You know, and just, I'm not going to go too much more about him. He played great. He got everywhere. He dazzled the crowd. I know there was, watching the broadcast, there were a ton of Steph Curry fans in the building. He put on a show for them. Congratulations on player of the game, but that's all I'm going to say about that, Casey. I'm sorry.
All right. I think that's a good place for us to sit back and have a glass of whiskey too. No, it's too late. I'm going to bed. We're just passing the midnight mark. Devin and I will be back coming up on Sunday following the Kings game. Remember, that's a 3:00 tip. And so once that goes final, you know where to find us. We will be right here, hopefully recounting a Spurs victory and a real good opportunity for De'Aaron Fox to dust himself off and get a little bit of redemption. Tonight, though, it's going to sting, and it's going to sting for him, and it's going to sting for the Spurs because they go down 109-108. They drop to 8-4 on the season, consecutive losses to the Golden State Warriors. Everything that I say, every bit of that sentence just sounds more and more cringier, but it's basketball. That's why they play 82 of these things. So that said, as always, you guys are the everydayers, and we appreciate what you guys do in making the Locked On Podcast Network the #1 sports podcast network out there. You guys are the everydayers. You're the guys, the ones that drive this, and you are the ones that make this Spurs postcast and all Locked On Spurs special. So like we do every episode, at the end, we thank you for your engagement, your involvement. We'll talk to you on Sunday. Hopefully a little bit better days ahead. Not a great one tonight as the Spurs get swept in their back-to-back against Golden State.